What? Why would you say that?
No, I'm nervous. Don't look down. What? Oh shit. We're
Right.
gonna have a cool intro with music and stuff, and it's gonna go pew, 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 pew.
Oh
All right.
shit, like a light show? I like that.
And it's just gonna
Ooh,
be a picture of my dick, and then it's gonna be us.
that's what's up. Hey, fuck it.
Like in what was that? Bruno.
They gotta click on it to watch the podcast. It's
Yeah.
one of those like
Click on the swinging dick.
What's up? My name is Greg Lopez.
Hey, what's good? It's InHerScope.
What's going on, everybody? It's McFly.
What's going on, everybody? We are a family of nerds. My name is McFly.
I'm Greg.
InHerScope.
Welcome to episode 1 of our podcast. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today. I'm glad we're doing a podcast. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. We're kind of going to probably be focusing on one thing because I know Scope is super excited to talk about it. We're going to cover a lot of Marvel today. We're going to talk about some celebrity stuff, some corporate stuff, and then anything else we want to add maybe at the end we'll talk about. So let's get into it. Since it's fresh, we just watched WandaVision, 2 days ago? And we got one more episode left. It's supposed to be one more episode. I'm hearing it's going to be 2. I was kind of blown away by the Vision thing. That freaked me out a bit, but I don't know what they're going to do with that because I know he's supposed to be like cyborg Vision because he's, he doesn't have any, the human part of him. He's literally just a cyborg, but
Yeah, he's big and white like my penis now. So I mean,
yeah, pretty much. But Scope, you said you had some theories about what you think's gonna happen. What do you think?
at first I thought, okay, this is gonna be fucking the Silver Surfer, and then
That's what the vibe I was getting. That's the vibe I was getting with Silver Surfer.
to be honest, because Fantastic Four is coming out, they're gonna make a movie. Plus, with Fantastic Four too, they could do X-Men. I don't know. I just seen so much stuff. I was reading so much stuff today.
The first theories going around was that he was gonna be
Hayward.
summoning. Yeah, he was gonna be summoning the Fantastic Four, but I don't think that's true now. I think he's somebody else.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a normal human. Kind of he's playing Wanda and he like baited her basically
100%.
into like doing
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
everything that happened. Yeah, and then he's like he doctored the footage and made her out to be like a villain. So he's got some plans, and if he's just a regular old dude, that's gonna be kind of weird. How and why did he do all this?
Well, he has a motive. I don't know what it is yet, but it's whether it's revenge, whether it's something. There's something going on there. We will find out, I guess. I know Darcy is gonna play a big part in this. There's been talks about how she was in a CGI suit, so I don't know what that means.
Oh,
I don't
Okay,
know what that means.
Okay. Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but I was thinking that maybe she was gonna become Silver Surfer.
Why would she become
But-
Silver Surfer?
But that was in the beginning
Oh.
when I was reading everything, right? But then, because they were so close
Yeah.
together and stuff, he doesn't have a body really. He's more like a spirit thing that she made up. But then I was reading into it more and watching more videos and stuff, and I guess he actually does have a soul stone now in his head.
White
So-
Vision?
No,
He
no.
has
The one that Wanda made. He has the like actual soul stone. He has a soul stone in him. Like if you paid attention to when she was making him, and then like all the
Yeah.
yellow energy going into him was all the soul stone
Yeah,
energy
it
from
makes
her,
his body.
and it actually really
Yeah.
made him.
Isn't it the Mind Stone, not the Soul
Okay.
Stone?
Yeah, the mind stone or whatever. Yeah, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That,
it's all good.
no. That makes sense. That
But-
makes sense.
But yeah.
That would be cool if he was Silver Surfer.
So
but
then-
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be
Oh,
that
man.
sentient weapon that the director wants him to be. He's gonna go in there because he can't get in there. He's gonna fight the actual Vision. The actual Vision's gonna lose, and then Wanda or somebody's gonna find a way to merge them two together to become the Vision that we know. I think what's gonna happen is coming out of this is it's just gonna be Vision is going to live on. That's what everybody wants, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that because that would be dope.
It'd be pretty messed up if they go through all this effort just to like have him die one more time. Like
I know, right?
Nobody wants to see him die.
he
again.
died twice already. Right? Like she killed him, Thanos killed him, and then they replayed it. I don't need to see this anymore.
Yeah.
You gotta keep killing him.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happened, the thing that I'm worried about is if there's only one more episode, they're supposed to be tying up all the loose ends of this show and also having things lead into the Doctor Strange movie. So
Right.
it's either going to be a 2-hour episode or they're going to have it be a 2-parter that's an hour each that they're saying is one episode, but they're breaking it into 2 parts. And I think that's how they're that's how they're baiting and switching
that
us.
can be like like a sneaky way to be like it's actually 10, but we listed it as 9.
That's yeah, but we'll see. They didn't have Maria Rambo in this last episode, which kind of pissed me off because she just got her powers. They're like, we'll tell you about that later.
Oh, Monica.
Monica, yeah, not Maria. So hopefully that'll be in the next one.
But yeah, they gave her powers and then like they were like, wait,
They
we gotta
teased us.
recap.
They
and
teased
just-
us. We're like
Yeah.
the dogs on the treadmill with the bone. We're just tracing it and like, nope, we're not gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Or
I did not
like,
read it.
That's
I
not
didn't read
creepy.
anything about her.
there's nothing more really in that story. I mean, she has her powers now, so she's gonna be part of the Avengers at some point. She's gonna go visit her friend, not so much friend anymore, Captain Marvel, because it sounds
Right.
like there's animosity there.
It was kind of weird that she's upset with her for some reason. When I was watching it earlier, as she's getting her powers, Carol's voice, she says, "Oh, your mother's really lucky." When they were picking a kid for her, they got the toughest one, and she's like talking about Monica.
Yeah,
For whatever reason that she's not happy with her, or at least it seems like she's not, she probably still like holds her in high regard. But that is kind of interesting. Like I'm very curious to see like what did we miss? You know, what have they not shown us that is making her feel that way?
Marvel's really good at like setting up little tiny breadcrumbs throughout the show to make us either notice things or not notice things, and it's leading into things that are gonna be later. I'm sure they'll go over that at some point. But Scope, I'm calling you out. You said you had this crazy theory as to what's gonna happen in the next episode.
Oh, I thought it was Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer.
Oh, that's what it was. Dude, that would be. I mean, that's my favorite character
It is.
from the
I
original.
kept reading. So okay. So the video I sent you that you didn't fucking watch was
My
was
bad.
fucking amazing. They did a great job breaking this shit down, right? I don't think I agree somewhat, but I don't agree that it's gonna be her husband, the devil dude, or whatever the hell his name is, Morpheus or whatever the fuck. What's his name?
Morbius.
Morbius?
Mephisto?
Yeah. I don't think it's
No,
Morbius.
Mephisto.
Mephisto? Yeah, I don't think it's him. I mean, a lot of stuff like they're making it kind of look like it's gonna be him,
Mhm.
but I don't think it is because I was reading up on the House of M
Mm-hmm.
and how he made it look like illusion, like her twins, but he was puppet. It was like puppets, and then at the end of the episode, she had the twins on strings like puppets, which kind of makes sense to where they're going with it, kind of. But I think that's all just to make everybody think that. Saying, I
Right.
think it's her son. I think it's her son because her son is like a warlock.
I've been saying it's her son. I think the bunny has something to do with somebody, one of her
So the
sons
bunny,
or
okay.
something.
So the bunny, she had a pet that would turn into a Black Panther.
So maybe they change it to a bunny just because of the whole Black
Yeah,
Panther
it-
thing. That makes sense to me.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, killed the dog, right? And I was reading up on that. I started reading so much different shit about different characters, trying to figure this all out. And I started reading about some werewolf shit. There's just so much stuff that ties into this. Like it could be anything.
Yeah, no, they definitely are setting it up where it feels like very open. It seems like they could take it in almost any direction. Somehow I feel like it's, you know, when we were looking it up the other day, and it seemed like Nightmare was gonna be involved.
I think
I kind of still think that,
I think
but
that's
I'm
the
not really,
best theory so far.
because then
Oh.
and then like you were saying, it sets it up for Doctor Strange, the next film, and then having Wanda and mages, you know, the wizard basically,
Yeah.
which is they need some sort of mystical thing to fight. So if there's gonna be a big reveal, I think a crazy supervillain like Nightmare would fit the bill kind of thing. I just don't know too much about him.
I don't know anything about him. I know Mephisto just because he's been in talks for a while in the MCU. I don't know much about Nightmare. That's like the part of the comics where I was like not interested in it. So like I never read them, but I think Nightmare would be cooler than Mephisto because Mephisto is literally the devil.
See-
How are you gonna defeat the devil? That's
If it's
this.
him too, it opens up for Fantastic Four and for X-Men because because X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Avengers came together to defeat him because it just
Oh,
opens up the
okay.
door to add all three. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. It could go any way.
I mean,
like-
how are you gonna beat Endgame? Endgame was so big, and you're moving on to the second chapter of Avengers.
Galactus.
So I mean, what's bigger? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to add Fantastic Four, X,
Galactus.
and if you add all three over like another 10-year, whatever, 15-year, that's crazy.
So I don't know if you guys paid attention. I didn't see this till I think the third time I watched it. But in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, but they were talking about how the universe was born and all that stuff. I think they talk about the Infinity Stones, but you see Galactus in the background. So I'm assuming that he's gonna show up at some point. I mean, he's one of the most famous and toughest villains in Marvel. So I mean, I can send it to you guys. But before we move on from WandaVision, we are going to do our own predictions, and then when we do the next podcast, whoever loses has to do something. I don't know what it is yet, but they have to do something.
I like it.
So what's your other theory?
So you know the black dude in the show?
Yeah.
John Collins?
Yeah.
Herb?
I
think he might be Brother Voodoo.
Oh shit. Do you see all these characters that could mean something?
That's what I was looking at, bro. I was trying to like depict like each character, and like, you know, like why are they mentioning these certain people? And then he was the only one that came to mind. Like Agatha, she's always talking to him and nobody else.
Right.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah.
Like in the show, when she's talking to somebody else other than Wanda, it's always him, and he has enough powers to do that, to control shit too.
But that's the guy that she like mind controlled for a second, and then he started like chopping through the fence.
Yes, that's him.
Or is it a different person? No, because that's the only part where it's like it seems weird.
And
but she also was really
in the
killing everyone.
second episode, they're all sitting around the table, and he comes in Vision, you know, is talking, and they tells Doug, and then he goes joke about the guy being a communist or whatever, right? But Homeboy gives him a stick of Big Red, the gum that he swallows and chokes on and makes him go crazy, whatever, you know, like throws him off.
Mm-hmm.
The stick of gum is called Big Red. At the end of this last episode, on the movie, like the billboard for the movies or whatever, the name, it says Big Red.
What billboard?
Of the movies. Is at the movie theater, because they changed two things around at the end of the movie. I mean, at the end of the show, and they changed two signs, and then the movie sign read something else, and then all of a sudden it changed to Big Red, and then underneath it said something else.
Dude, that's crazy. I feel like it like they're planting all these clues in the show for sure. I wonder how many of them are like to get people to go what like red herrings, I guess, like to fool you into thinking it's something, take you in a completely different direction. But then some of them, they're kind of like planting the seed. They want people to be able to guess like what's going to happen before it does.
The MCU is all about bait and switch, right? So they like to put little obvious breadcrumbs in front of you, and then you're like, oh, I know exactly what's happening, and then they change it up at the very end.
Yeah.
I was telling Scope, like the MCU will keep things as close to the comic as possible, so then once you get comfortable with that, they immediately change it to something else, and it's not in the comics.
Yeah, see, that's why I started looking at other characters and other stories of the characters that match this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Even Thanos, everybody was assuming that knows the comics that Thanos, his whole reason for what he was doing was because of Lady Death, because that's how it is in the comics. But then when they explain it in Infinity War, everybody's like, oh, well, that's different. And it actually made him more, humanized him a little bit, and people were able to relate to him, right? Like, oh, I kind of see where he's coming from. If it was just Lady Death, like nobody would have got that. So I kind of get the change on that. But Marvel's very, very, very smart. I think Kevin Feige is like very good at keeping people guessing. But there's also been times where it's been super obvious. So I don't know. It could be everything we're saying could be true, and everything we're saying could be totally wrong. But
I started thinking about the werewolf because they killed a dog and they could turn it into a werewolf. And the werewolf, the whole reason why one of the characters made a silver suit, which I think was going to lead to Silver Surfer in this, is because they made a silver suit because he killed his wife. The werewolf killed his wife, and he made a silver suit to protect him from the werewolf. So I was thinking maybe they just twisted that story around into this, and that's why they got Vision like he is, and turns him into Silver Surfer. Everything that goes in gets twisted around, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if they send in White Vision, it might not be White Vision.
Unfortunately, the director, as of right now, is not, like, his name is not any character in the comics. We could find out that he is one of them. They just renamed him. They do that all the time. That's kind of where people are like, I don't know what's happening because I don't know who this guy is, and he's running this whole thing right now. So it's crazy. I feel like they made her like where we all wanted her to have her powers before. If she was like this in an Endgame, she would have fucking murdered Thanos. Like, murdered him.
Yeah.
And I would have much rather had her be the one who comes to save the day than Captain Marvel, just because I feel like Captain Marvel's super OP, in the sense that like she can't be touched. I've rewatched that.
What did he do again? He like threw
so
like
yeah, she was blocking him and trying to like push into him. Quickly, he put it in his other hand or something. I don't remember what he did, and then he like hit her with it.
yeah, she came in and I don't know. It's like I feel like you got the feeling that she was going to change things like in a big way. Like she was like, oh, okay, like now we have our big guns to match yours.
Yeah.
And then like she was like pushed to the side, and you're like, oh, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the situation was like under control, and then it was like totally lost. Like, oh no, we're back to Infinity War. Like this cannot happen again.
They used her like a nuclear missile, essentially, in that movie. The whole point of that was to show that not one person was going to stop them. They all had to work together, and they had their cool woman empowerment moment, which I think was better in Infinity War, by the way, but because it was more natural. But that was still cool.
Yeah. This one was more forced upon.
Yeah. Just so we have them together. Scope, I want you to say your theory first, and then Greg, if whatever yours is, and then I'm gonna say mine, and then we'll see who's right. Watch all of us be wrong. Go ahead.
House of M.
Mhm.
WandaVision. Then I guess she needed like help doing this, and she had Professor X in House of M. It was both her and Professor X powers to combine what was holding all this together. This different reality that she's making.
Yep.
But I mean, clearly in the show, it shows just her going crazy, losing it because she's at the house. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, that'd be a good intro, like for X-Men. But I mean, I just don't see how it happened.
Either way, they're saying that there's going to be a huge character reveal at the end of the show. We don't know who it is. If it's Professor X, that would be dope. Greg, you do your theory first. Go ahead.
My guess is still that the supervillain is Nightmare. And I feel like somehow he's like controlling this Hayward dude, or he's appearing as this person. Because it seems like Hayward was a real person. So I can't tell if some random dude just comes out of nowhere and is like, okay, I'm a director now. I'm just wait until the right time comes by and then make my move. Or if they like took over this person. But I feel like there's something there with that. That's like the connection. The stuff that I know of the House of M, it was a way that they used to get rid of a bunch of mutants. They had like too many mutants. So like in that comic series, everybody gets an ideal like living situation via Wanda's magic, and then she takes it all away. And like 2% of the entire mutant population preserves their powers. Everybody else loses them.
Right.
I think the big character reveal though is going to be Magneto. I just don't really get how. I mean, and the main thing though is that it's a show about Wanda. That's like a relative, like a pretty significant relative.
Yeah.
So it just feels like those feel like to me like the things that are going to make sense, but I just don't know enough to be like, this is how it's going to happen. I'm just like, they're there. Those are the pieces.
Yeah.
Don't really know how they're gonna do it.
Dude, I don't know. Like, so I'll tell you guys who I want, the 3 people I want it to be. I'll tell you who I think it is, and then, so I think, like I said, that this new cyborg Vision is gonna end up fighting the current one, and then whoever wins is gonna end up being defeated by somebody else, whether it's Monica, whether it's Wanda, I don't know. And then they'll merge together to become the Vision that we know. However, I think the villain in the end of this is going to be Wanda. And I think she's going to end up being partial villain in the next movie, who Doctor Strange kind of like gets her to be right, and then they work together to defeat the main villain. Who that is, I honestly don't know. I think it could be Nightmare, but I don't know. So I think it's gonna be Nightmare, and that's gonna move into the Doctor Strange movie. I also think it's Magneto that's gonna be at the end. It just makes sense. It's supposed to be her dad, so like.
But that's not her dad.
Yeah.
But my question is, which Magneto
that's not her
is?
Blood dad.
True.
Her dad's a warlock.
True.
He was just her stepdad.
True.
Not like a foster dad.
Oh shit.
But
Yeah, I read into it.
the
That's why I don't think it's Magneto.
the fact that they picked Pietro, the Fox version of it, who they already said was Magneto's son, I think it's gonna be Magneto. But my question is, which one is it?
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender, or I'm drawing a blank on the other
He
guy.
should be.
Okay, I think that might also be her son,
Oh,
Who? Agatha's?
Wanda's brother. Yeah, Agatha's brother playing as that, because she didn't bring back her actual brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Somebody
But
else.
that's what leads me to thinking that maybe then that it's her husband that's in the doors that they open.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is too that a lot of the things that Pietro said, or fake Pietro said, fake trio, was like a lot of words he used was
Well,
about
he called the twin spawns of Satan.
yes, which would mean he's
Yeah.
Mephisto. So maybe Pietro is actually Mephisto messing with her, and he's actually in charge of Agatha right now. That's another theory too.
Yeah, see?
Like I said, there's so many things. So here's who I want it to be revealed at the end. Professor X, and I want James McAvoy's, even though I really like Patrick Stewart, but Deadpool.
You
Just
think
like
Deadpool's gonna be it?
just a little thing at the end, dude. Why not?
What?
Or Doctor Strange, which would make 100% sense since he's gonna be in the movie. I don't know, man. I think it would be cool.
I'm still gonna say Silver Surfer.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite X-Men character. So, and he's the only one who could.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, Ian McKellen.
It's
Yeah,
bugging
there
me.
you
I
go.
had to look it up.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's a legend.
I have all the
Can't believe
Professor.
it blinked.
I have all the Professor X actors up here, but I didn't have the Magneto actors up here.
It should be fat. It should be the young guys because I don't think the older guys are gonna do. I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, just from a knowledge of the real world, not because of the anything to do with what I know about the movies and stuff. It's just more like I thought Wolverine was the last movie that those two were gonna do for
I think so.
as those characters ever. So
There's
it would be
supposed
too much for them to just jump back in, you know?
Yeah, and that makes sense. I think it's gonna be one of the younger ones too. I like James McAvoy anyways, so
I think the casting for X-Men for all of them to me were good. Like I didn't have problems with who they chose. It was just like the first version. The story, like, for sure is lacking. You know, when you watch it, I'm like, I really
just
like
watched
it.
the first one. It was trash.
I think I liked the first one. The second one was like, oh, this was supposed to be cool at the time, and the third one was like, what the?
I think with Days of. Are you talking about the original X-Men?
The original three, to me, that's how I view them. And then
I think
I like the reboot.
those movies don't hold up well. I think when they came out, they were pretty good. I rewatched them too. X-Men 3 was crap. First of all, X3 was garbage. I hated that movie.
I don't like any of the X-Men.
X2 was good.
When I watched it, too, I was like, I don't know how good this is.
They didn't have Gambit, bro.
This guy. There's a movie coming out with Gambit in it. Just FYI.
Oh, dude. After every X-Men movie that they didn't have Gambit in, I wrote them a letter and said, "Who the fuck is Toad, bruh?"
You're like, listen, motherfucker, I want this movie now.
Yeah, dude. Like, what?
You're like, I'll play him. Fuck it, just do it. I'll help you. I liked Days of Future Past though. I think that was a really good movie. But then the other ones after that were just weren't good.
The Apocalypse one was not as good. I mean, the Four Horsemen thing was pretty cool. There were aspects of it that were cool, but like all in all, like I think I really liked the first one of the reboot and Days of Future Past. And then in the original three, I think I liked the first one. But that one could be more like a nostalgia thing. I was like really excited about X-Men because I really like the cartoons and stuff. And then when they brought it to the screen, it was like, whoa, this is sick.
Yeah. I mean, the best part of those
But
movies were Pietro, so Peter. I mean, 100%.
Oh yeah, those ones
He was
for
awesome.
sure. Yeah.
Those scenes were crazy, dude, with him in it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was on the other day. I watched it. Him breaking it out Magneto, that whole sequence, that bit, running around with his headphones, listening to Pink Floyd. He did a really good job in that movie. I feel like I was like, who is this guy? Oh shit! Like I like this guy.
Yeah, like you said, all the actors in those movies were really good. I just think the writing wasn't fantastic. And
Yeah,
So
I didn't see Phoenix, but I
I
heard.
think he tried harder.
you guys are looking for a
It-
way for Magneto to enter this, right? Into Wanda. What if
Yeah.
Hayward was Mystique?
So that was funny that talking about this today earlier. That was something that was thrown out there, and it was like that would work, except that the target is Vision, and they already had Vision. So, you know, like if Mystique was gonna go and steal the body for Magneto, so that he could have a powerful metal, you know, like it seems kind of weak. Like, why would he care about the body of Vision? It seems like this Hayward is super focused on bringing that
No, because he's more
weapon to life.
interested in Wanda's power.
If Hayward was going after Wanda, I think then him being Mystique would make more sense. I think that's kind of the point of like, can't say it's not true, but
Oh no, there's so much stuff.
yeah, no, it really is. Like the fly and all that was like, what like what was the point of that? Like, I think that was just to fool people, right?
Well, at the end of the episode 7, a lot of people were like, "That's Mephisto, that's him," and then like they had to wait a whole week to find out it was fucking nothing. It was food for the bunny.
Yeah. Gets eaten by a rabbit immediately. You're like, what?
So I was on
I think
I was on
Okay,
IMDb.
but
I was on IMDb yesterday. Hold
Yeah.
on, and
that-
one of the
what-
people that was on the WandaVision cast list was Giancarlo Esposito. Do you know who that is?
Sounds familiar.
That's Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. He was
Oh.
also in a. So he didn't have a character to his name. Okay, but a lot of people are saying that they were gonna go brave with a lot of the main character castings that they were gonna do. So they were saying they think that he might be the next Charles Xavier, Professor X.
Oh, whoa.
So I don't know if that's what's gonna happen in this. I think that would be really cool to throw a loop in it and like it's nobody you guys thought it was gonna be. But then I also heard something else that they confirmed that James McAvoy is going to be Professor X whenever they bring him back. So I don't know what's happening. But he's on the cast.
I thought you were gonna say that
So
it's gonna be.
they're gonna bring in Professor
the
X
villain.
then.
Eventually, not in the show.
I'm calling it. It's Professor X.
Dude, they're bringing in all of them eventually. Deadpool has a.
Next episode, Professor X.
I still think it's Magneto, bro. But if it's Professor X, I'll be happy.
You'll win
And
that
Silver
for sure,
Surfer.
man.
I don't know. We'll find out. So we'll see who's right, and if none of us are right, then none of us have to do anything. But if one of us were right, then the two losers have to do something, and we'll figure it out. We have a week. After this show, I think we have 2 weeks, and then it's the Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I'm actually super stoked because the Winter Soldier movie is my second favorite after Thor Ragnarok, and plus those two are hilarious. Anyways,
My favorite movie.
I don't know much about that except for the villain is the same villain from Civil War, the German. I think it was German. The German guy that,
That little Nazi fuck.
yeah, that guy.
I thought he
Yeah.
ate like arsenic or something and died.
Arsenic. No, remember
Tony and Cap fight. I thought they got to that guy out in the snow or something.
Black Panther
and then
did.
he's like,
Yeah, Black Panther.
right, okay. But I
Yeah.
thought he died. Like,
Mm-mm. They never showed him dying, and I don't think he was gonna shoot himself, I think, and then Black Panther said something about he deserves something
to like live through it all.
Yeah,
Like, you don't get it to get away from all this. Like,
Yeah,
now you're
exactly.
gonna have to live.
I'm done letting it consume me. Justice will come soon enough.
Tell that to the dead.
The living are not done with you yet.
Through it.
and somehow gets out of jail or something, and he's the main villain in this. And obviously, this show is going to lead to Falcon becoming Captain America. They've confirmed that a long time ago he was going to be the next one, even though people wanted Bucky. I think
Either of them seem good. I don't see why it's like a.
either
I
will
don't
be
know.
fine. A lot of people really like, the actor who plays Winter Soldier a lot better than Anthony Mackie, just because Anthony Mackie's really like out like in your face. But and there's the whole, not to bring it up, but we'll be bringing it up later anyways. There's the whole race thing too that a lot of people just don't want him to be Captain America because Captain America is white. America is white.
Lame.
Dude.
I was like, if they're gonna like diversify characters, I feel like I'm always gonna be like down because unless
Yeah.
it's something like unless the character used his white skin to defeat bad guys, then who gives a shit? If
I'm
it's
Whitey
color?
McWhiteface here to the rescue.
Like, oh, I'm touching you, and it hurts you because it's so bright.
The reflection
Like,
of the sun.
yeah, the Silver
Where's my
Surfer. should
sunscreen?
probably
You're
be white.
killing me.
Outside of that, like, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. Like the next Iron Man is probably gonna be a 17-year-old black woman. So get used to it, everybody. There's also
as long as they're smart, right? Like, there's key features that need to be there, but like,
yeah,
rest,
she needs to be
whatever, man.
smart as fuck, and she probably needs to be rich
yeah,
as
she's
fuck.
hella stupid. and
Those are the two things.
It's like, oh, I can't really fly, or I really can't do math.
So what's gonna
but
happen?
I guess
is
I'll try.
She's gonna be like probably in a poor area, going to a poor school. It's like in the comics, but she's gonna be super smart, super ahead in her field, and somebody by the name of Peter Parker is gonna take a notice to her and use Iron Man's foundation to get her a scholarship. But we'll get back to that when the time comes, because I think the next Iron Man anything is going to be a ways away. I personally am looking forward to the Loki show. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for it. Just the fact that some of the actors in it were pretty cool, especially hold on, I have to look it up. But I'm excited for Loki because the last thing we saw was he died, and then in Endgame, right, he escapes when they're trying to get the Tesseract.
Yeah,
Owen Wilson.
I was
Owen
very
Wilson.
excited about it.
Owen Wilson's in it, dude. Wow.
What?
Wow.
Oh, damn, I did the wrong thing.
Dude, so I saw him in it and I was like, oh, dude, I'm stoked. I'm down already. But we don't know when this is going. It's supposed to be right after that, but I'm curious to see if it's going to go through his whole life from there all the way past Endgame, because we didn't see him at all. And obviously he's alive now, which means
2014 version of him is alive. Just kind of like
Yes.
Gamora. It's crazy though, because like
there's
that's
this, the whole
they
timeline
can
is
do
screwed.
so much with this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a couple things about that is like they can revive like almost anybody now that there's a multiverse, depending on how they approach this. Like I feel like it's like it was like one line, and now it's like this,
Yeah.
and then eventually they're gonna bring it back down to one probably.
Yeah.
But like as it splits, like who are we gonna get back? Who are we gonna lose? How are people gonna change? Gamora doesn't even know what's his face, Chris Pratt. Like they don't have a relationship. All of that was kind of like skipped. And Loki too, dude. Like he was really like mischievous and like immature, self-serving, and his character arc changed. He kind of like became like a bit of a better person. Well, that's gone.
Yes, he has to do it all over again.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. It's cool, but it is interesting. It's like
The
choices now.
the foundation that he's in, I read a little bit about it. It's supposed to be a subsection of Shield / Sword, which Shield kind of becomes, I believe.
Oh my god! I just noticed it's like Sword and Shield.
Yeah. So
That's why he wants a weapon.
they're saying there's a part where he's looking at a TV screen with like a confused look on his face, and that's supposed to be him watching Infinity War go down and Endgame go down, because he's alive, right? At that point.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool to kind of see his reaction to all of that and show him seeing himself be like a hero. That would be cool to see him
Yeah.
see himself that way. But That's why I'm really
That's a
stoked
really
about
cool
that. Is
concept.
like the character development that's gonna happen with that. I know that'd be super cool in my opinion.
So, dude, not to I know it's bringing in like other kind of brands and stuff, but basically like in one of the Harry Potters, he's trying to like learn a spell. It's like in the third one. I don't know how much you guys know of that, but like he's trying to learn a spell. It's like really difficult, and he thinks he's seeing his dad do it, and he sees it like a huge like white shining light, and it's like a gigantic spell, and he's like, oh wow, like he's really talented, and I'm his son, so maybe I can do it too. But later on, there's a bit of like kind of time travel.
Mm-hmm.
So he realizes that he was the person doing the spell. So when the time comes for him to be in that position, like it's across the lake that he sees it happening. And then later on, he finds himself on that other side of the lake. Time is running out for him to do this. So he goes, all right, I'm just going to do it. It goes off. But essentially, like, it's like it's I forget the word, but when time travel, sometimes it's like a paradox.
Yeah.
It's like I knew I could do it because I did it, but I had never done it before.
Yeah.
So Loki's gonna be in that same thing where he's like, I know I can be a hero because I did it, but I've never done it before. And so it's gonna push him into an understanding that like, none of us are ever gonna experience. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I did it before, but I've never done it before at the same time.
I think I'm hoping that's what the show is going to be about. Because the thing I like about movies and TV shows and all that stuff, or books even, yes, I read books, is when the characters have like an arc, right? I hate when they have characters and they just stay the same throughout the whole story. It's boring to me. So I hope that's what they do, but I'm sure it'll be good. I like Loki either way, so and I'm also curious to see what character's going to be in it. Like, is Thor going to be in it, or is Valkyrie going to be in it? Somebody's going to be in it. I don't know who though.
And Tom
Hiddleston.
I've heard his name.
Hiddleston.
That guy's cool too. So I'm like,
yeah.
I was definitely bummed when he died. It was like, I mean, like so many people were dying in that movie. It's like you didn't have your moments to like take it in as much. You're like,
yeah,
this movie just started. What are you doing?
Dude, look, people are like worried. Like, I think Endgame was the top for Marvel. It's never, or for the MCU, it's never going to be as good. You realize like we have Blade, we have a Blade movie with Marshall Ali, who's amazing.
Marshall Ali.
Yeah, that guy.
Dude, I love him.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
He's gonna be Blade. That's
dude,
really cool.
Yeah. We're gonna get the Black Widow movie.
I love Blade.
Finally, the Black Widow movie. By the way, I want a Spawn movie. When's that happening?
Yeah, they gotta redo that, man. That one was really like, I can't remember how that one, if I enjoyed it. I think it was kind of freaky to watch because I was a bit younger. But anything where they had like a decent story and the CGI was lacking, I think those are the ones that they should revisit. Kind of like Mortal Kombat. I think that's like, it's prime time for you now. Like, you have the technology. Do it. Do a good job.
Yeah, Blade was one of those, dude, where the CGI was god awful, but it was a good movie. So
yeah, I remember being really impressed with that and not knowing until many, many years later that it was Marvel at all.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure even if it did the flippy thing in the beginning, I probably forgot. I was just like, oh, the movie's starting.
Yeah. There's supposed to be a Hulk movie, but I think they nixed it again. They had a whole Hulk deleted scene in Endgame that they took out.
He hasn't had his own movie.
Well, he's had 2 movies, but neither of them with the current
actor.
I mean,
Ruffalo.
Yeah.
So they had one. The actor
standalone. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just
more Ragnarok was more of his movie too.
Dude, that movie's so good. The movie's so good.
So fucking good.
I'm glad he's coming back to do the next movie. Taika Waititi. That guy's so awesome.
Oh man, but yeah. I like a lot of his stuff, like Marvel and not Marvel. The guy's really funny.
All right, I want to move on, but you mentioned it, Greg, that this is big too, is that, so not only is time travel real now, so anything can happen, but they also, in Endgame and in Ant-Man and the Wasp, they opened up, and Doctor Strange, they opened up new realities, right? And if Mysterio was being at all truthful, we know that there's the whole multiverse. I really hope the next Spider-Man movie has all three of them in it. That would be awesome. But we'll see, dude. If they show,
could do that.
even if it's like 3 seconds at the end, I will rage in the theater. I don't care. I will like get naked and streak and like run around with my dick hanging out. I will do it.
Hopefully we can watch these things in theaters, man.
Yeah. But if you guys have time, you guys should definitely watch Agent Carter. I don't think it really has any bearing on what's going to happen, but it's kind of interesting now knowing what happened in Endgame, that he went back. She's very like standoffish with going on dates with other guys. Like when I watched it, it was before Endgame, so I was like, oh, she just still in love with Cap and just doesn't want to do it. But now it almost seems like she knew he was there in the background and couldn't say anything, so she was just playing it cool type of thing. It's just cool, and the show's really good, and she's like my Marvel crush, so there's that too.
Oh yeah, dude, she's super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
was
could have
that
took place before he went back,
No, it didn't.
right?
No, it didn't. Mm-mm.
But I mean, he's going back. So like when they recorded it, and
right.
stuff, they could have done a bad job and like had her with other love interests, and then have to like revise that in Endgame. But because of the way that they set it up in a way where it's plausible. You wouldn't know.
We have no idea when he went back. They left it open. They just showed him dancing with her.
see?
That's it.
Yeah, so that could have been that the whole show could have been before he even went back. You know what I'm saying?
It could
Oh.
have, yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you know. But then if he goes back, then doesn't he go back? So it's, you know.
And the last thing too, in Endgame, she mentions, I forgot the name of him, but it's basically the Captain Britain. She mentions his name in it, so that's another Easter egg to another superhero that's probably going to end up in the movie somehow.
In Britain? Who's
Yeah,
that?
the Captain America of England, essentially.
But that was the what if.
Oh,
No, that was in
Right?
Endgame. That was in Endgame.
That was in Endgame? That's
Yeah.
not part of the what if though? I thought Captain Britt was part of
Captain
the what
America.
if.
In what
There
if
was no Captain
Captain?
America.
In what if Captain America ends up being Agent Carter? It ends up being Peggy. She ends up as
wow.
Captain America. I don't know why. We'll find out.
She wasn't named. She wasn't She's not called Captain America, right?
I think
She's
she
called
is.
Captain Britt. She's called Captain Britt, I think.
Maybe.
In the What If series?
Maybe. But this is
I might be wrong.
This is mentioning the actual Captain Britain from the comics in Endgame. So it's something different. So yeah, the Black Widow movie's coming out. I'm super stoked. We have the Spider-Mans. Who knows if all three of them are going to be in it. And then the one I'm most excited for, everybody can hate me for it, is Venom 2 with Carnage.
I'm excited.
Dude, I'm so stoked. Yeah, but all
Carnage is
the
one of my
I mean,
favorites.
dude,
Carnage is in there, man. I hope they go with the R rating this time and just like go all
Okay.
out.
they should. It's an R-rated movie.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, like I don't know. I also like the other one, so but I think I'm easily one of the softest critics. I'm always going like, oh, that was good,
Yeah.
and then like 10 years later, I'm like, nah, that was bad. At the time, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
This is a mind fuck for you, okay? Because you know how they're bringing back Jessica Jones and they're bringing back Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. And Punisher.
So, yeah, I can't. I was reading up, right, and it just for some reason I was reading, and I got to the part where it was talking about Patsy Walker, Jessica Jones' homegirl. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it says that Patsy Walker returned to her hometown to find out that everyone was possessed by demons. Her hometown is Westview.
Fuck.
Yeah, right?
Bro. See, it all ties together. It's like,
Yeah, there's just so many different things that they can do to kind of like bridge the stories. So it's like, I wonder which way they're gonna go with it, man. And I'm really excited to see.
it's Ghost like super giddy right now. He's like, oh my gosh, I just blew their minds.
But then that led to Thunderbolts, and then that also led to Onslaught, and then Red Onslaught, because Red Onslaught, I was telling Greg, is a mixture of Magneto's brain, of his powers kind of, and it was a mixture of Professor X's, but the bad side of Professor.
Yeah, I don't know any of that stuff, dude. I'd have to read up on it. You know more than me now at this point. Like,
Dude, he looks crazy. I was
Okay,
looking him
so-
up. He looks like Red Skull in a
So
Magneto
this
suit.
is my theory about
Oh
why
my God.
Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Avengers are going to get together too, was because of Red Onslaught, because it took all three of them to defeat him.
If they bring on Magneto and stuff and basically connect the whole X-Men universe to the like kind of bring them into the fold essentially. Like yeah, that just feels like pretty big. Like
He's sentient. He's
they
sentient.
really have to get Fantastic Four right this time.
Yeah,
I didn't even watch the last one.
They can't fuck it up. The last one was really bad. They had the two brother and sister be different races. I mean, it doesn't really, unless it just threw people off. We're gonna move on from Marvel
just thought it
because we could talk about Marvel for like fucking 3 hours, dude. we can continue it on a B-side podcast if we wanted to. All right, guys, that was episode 1 of our podcast. We appreciate everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm McFly. Up there is Greg.
Greg.
Up there is
Peace.
InHerScope. We appreciate all of you.
Turd nugget.